wrong.
Oh, well, you know what? No, hi.
Hello. Making last minute notes as we
Yes.
go live.
So we just did our public live, and now we're talking to real estate agents about that's not how it works. So Danielle and I, while perusing social media this past week, we like to look for things that clients or potential clients or the public in general don't understand and have a concept of that is wrong. So one of them, an agent posted, she was a new agent, so she wasn't quite sure how to respond to this text she got. She got a text from her client who she had, I think she had an agreement signed with, but obviously hadn't had a great consultation with this buyer, or maybe didn't know how to have these conversations. For me, and for us, the buyer broker agreement is the way to have that conversation. So you get to go through all of the pieces of it, and that's when you say, don't walk into and sign that in on their little card, or you waive your right to inspection. Don't talk to the friend of a friend without talking to me first. Don't knock on the FSBO's door. So you get to do all of those things while you're going through what they're signing with the buyer broker agreement. So it's a really great tool to use beyond obviously having it signed. I know a lot of people balk at that, but I find when people understand their role, when people understand our role, everything goes a lot more smoothly. So this agent posted that she got a text from a client that said, don't worry, I made an appointment through a company that starts with Z, and I'll let you know if I like this house. So, we know how awful that is for both of the agents involved. And I think it's important that we have those conversations up front, not wait until somebody makes a mistake like that. And it's happening. It seems to be happening more and more, doesn't it, Danielle?
Yeah, I mean that's the point, though, right? Like they want to push you, the general public, to look at how easy this is. It's about ease. It's not about what's right, what's best. It's about ease.
Yeah. And of course, it's not even easy. It just looks like it is.
No,
So,
right.
So we believe strongly in that upfront conversation, that consultation. We know they want to see the house. They always think it's the house. If you absolutely have to show them a house before they'll sit down with you because they thought that was the one because the pictures were so pretty. That can happen every once in a while, but it should be rare. And your main goal needs to be sitting. We do it on Zoom now. It just makes it so much more convenient for everybody. And then we can go through the paperwork. Like sitting at a kitchen table going through paperwork, I find really awkward. I don't know if you do Danielle, but
Yeah.
That's hard to do. So I find in this circumstance, there's lots of other things that Zoom doesn't work as well for, but in this circumstance, the buyer consultation, I think it works really well.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest here. I feel like I've been, the last 2 or 3 years, this has been even more so. Since we've started doing other things, I don't want to say barriers, but making extra steps in front of the let's go see a house step really starts to help figure out the people who, I really want to see this house because it's perfect. Are they really buyers?
Right.
Or are they people who want to take that next thrill ride from HGTV to reality where they're seeing houses, and maybe if they find the best one, they'll move, but they're really not they're eventual buyers. They're not current buyers. They're not, hey, sick of renting, I need to get out. My rent went up too high, is going up too high. I'm pregnant with my 4th kid in a 2-bedroom,
It can absolutely happen once in a while.
Correct.
But what happens is everybody focuses on that once in a while and says, but it happens. So it's worth it. So it's worth it if I have to show 100 houses to randos in order to close one. I will tell you, I had a closing this morning. 10 years ago, I was a brand new agent when I got a Zillow call from Pete Anderson. I sold them their first house together, second marriage for the two of them, first house they bought. Then a few years later, we sold that. They moved to Texas. I referred them in Texas. And then they had an investment property that I sold. And now a grandchild is about to make a debut. And they're moving home from Texas. And we just bought another house. So yes, sometimes it works. but it's, if I had spent anywhere near the amount of time I spent with them, which I had as a new agent, but it took a long time to get to the point of trust. It took a long time to get through, kind of who they were and what they were looking for and find it. And in that market, we were the opposite. There were too many choices. So people could look at 100 houses. They came close. But it's those, I think we fall into, as agents, as a profession, across, I think it's rampant. We fall into the trap of it works sometimes and therefore it's worth the effort.
Yeah. And that's working harder, not smarter type of situation. Because you want to help. I mean, it's not about what's the easiest for me, but it's also, not wasting your time either, because.
And not wasting your other clients' time, right? The time that you're spending with all of those randos could be better spent serving your real clients at a higher level.
And as I said, in the Facebook Live, that, them going towards, they might see it as easier. They might see it as, but it's first of all, it's not supposed to be the most easy process ever. You don't want it to be. They need to understand that this is a huge, purchase and a huge thing for them, or sale, whatever. But as I was saying that, about a week or two ago, I had a client who wanted to see a house, and if they would have clicked, they would have wasted probably 2 hours of their time, because it was 45 minutes away from 45 minutes to an hour from where they currently live. And within a couple minutes of me going through the listing and looking at things, I identified a couple things, had to ask their lender if it was even possible with their type of loan, and got the response that in the end, and had to reach out to the listing agent to make sure that there was some questions about it, and found out that it was not a house that they are even eligible to get.
Yeah.
If they would have gone the easy route and clicked on something, the other agent doesn't know anything. This is a lead. They'll do whatever. So they'll take them out. And it would have been a waste of everybody's time.
And we spend, we really work on doing what works, right? That's a big part of our team's operations. What works, let's do that. Let's do more of that and less of the things that don't. And so we really believe, and this is what I really want to emphasize to other agents, they don't know how it works. They don't understand. They think you click on a button and somebody shows you a house and that they get paid. So they're not going to know the difference unless we tell them. So you might think that, they don't want to sit down and have a consultation. Don't even call it a consultation, call it a conversation. Say, we need to come up with a strategy to, and don't tell them you want to show them fewer houses, because in the beginning they think they want to see them all. But let's be economical about this. Let's be smart about this. And let's make a plan so that we know what we're doing. They're going to be happy to hear that. They're going to be happy that you have plans and you have systems once they understand it. And then you're going to be able to tell them everything you need to tell them about how our business works and how it doesn't work. And that's when you don't get a call saying, you know what, we were driving past this new construction and it was so cute and we went in. So we told them after we signed everything that you were going to call. that's nice. You just lost. And they lost their ability to have anybody represent them on that sale against the seller's representative. So the other thing that we were talking about, and we'll touch on this lightly, is people think that we have, financial relationships with the people that we recommend. And I know a lot of agents are really touchy about recommending people. If you have a great lender, recommend them. You will not do your clients any service by letting them pick a lousy lender. And they can't do their own research because it's too hard, and and they're looking at the wrong things. They're looking at, how am I going to save 0.00001 on the percentage?
Well, there's so much that go into a loan too, and the initial fees and the appraisals and, the rates and the this and the that. And then they go, what's the easiest? When they go and research, what's the easiest? Well, the easiest is probably going to be their bank.
Yeah.
Or so they think, because that's just the first thing that pops in their head. They need a bank.
The easiest is going to be the rocket ship. The easiest is going to be one where they don't have to supply any documentation to get that pre-approval letter.
Mm-hmm. That too.
And that's not looking so easy when 3 days before closing, they've canceled their lease. The landlord has re-rented their apartment. The movers are coming. Their life is in boxes. And the lender says, whoopsie. We didn't actually look at this little DTI thing, and you don't qualify for a loan. So I'm sure if anybody's been doing this long enough, they've been through that. But it's important that they understand why we're recommending the people that we recommend, and that their friends, sisters, aunts, cousins, neighbors, nephew, who bought a house last year is not the person who's the expert and authority in who's really a good mortgage lender and who isn't.
I mean, to be honest, people see us as sales people, and what do sales people do? They are out to make themselves the most amount of money, right? Like, it's about commission, and it's about kickbacks, and it's about, all that stuff. And so realtors as a whole don't necessarily have a great reputation, because one person has what they perceive, reality or not, as a bad experience, and they'll tell 800 people what their perceived bad thing is. And so they, extrapolate that, their sales, they make money off of me, to being, they must make a money off of everything they do, selling me the house, giving me a lender, getting me an inspector.
Here's my new white Beamer, and I closed 15 houses this week for an average sale price of $950,000. You go ahead and do that math. All of the pretense, all of the gilding the lily doesn't bode well for any of that. And so and let's face it too, there are some realtors who just suck. But they are distrustful of us, and the more you hedge it, and the more you say, well, you could, whatever, and deflect it, and don't take ownership of, listen, I'm going to recommend somebody because I've been through 80 transactions with her, and she's going to knock it out of the park for you like she has for everybody else. That's what we need to be helping people with. When we have an inspector who we know is thorough and can help educate our clients and is not an alarmist, we need to recommend that person and do it with confidence. And we need our clients, all of them, to understand it. So if you are a person who doesn't have those conversations because you think it's going to put people off and you might not catch them, and they might go to another agent who makes it easier, well, maybe they will. So, get back to your lead generation and get some more, so that you don't have to worry about the one who doesn't want to do it right and is going to leave you because you do, right? But I think it's up to us. If there's one thing NAR has really failed at, well, there's a few things that they've failed at recently, but the one that upsets me the most is this I see as their job. Our reputation should be managed by NAR. They should be educating the public on who we are and what we do. Who we are, okay, it's a catchy title, but they don't show anything of substance. Let's let the public know what the substance is. Let's let them know what the real deal is. Climbing off my soapbox now.
Absolutely.
So see you next week, and be sure to educate your clients so they don't become someone else's clients by mistake.
There you go. See ya.